I'm Leanne.
We are SulfCo, and today we're going to discuss how we revolutionize the world with sulfur.
But first, some details.
Sulfur's atomic number is 16 because it has 16 protons. In fact, sulfur has 16 of everything, 16 electrons and 16 neutrons.
These are the electrons. They are arranged in 3 different shells. 2 in the first, 8 in the second, and 6 in the third. The nucleus is made up of 16 protons, 16 neutrons, and the atomic mass of sulfur is 32.06.
On the periodic table, sulfur is in period 3 in the oxygen family. It's very easy to find because it's right underneath oxygen.
Sulfur has properties of a metal, but also it has its own properties like crumbling easily. Clearly, it is not a gas nor a liquid, but it does not have all the properties of a metal, so it is a semi-metal. At normal temperatures, it is non-reactive. Sulfur has 6 valence electrons located in the outermost shell. This is also shown here at the last number in the row of the periodic table.
Because sulfur has 6 valence electrons, during ionic bonding it wants 2 more to make a full outer shell of 8. So it takes 2 electrons from elements like calcium, which has 2 valence electrons. In this case, the new substance created is calcium sulfide. During ionic bonding, sulfur gains 2 electrons and so becomes negatively charged, because then it has 2 more electrons than protons and so has a negative charge.
When sulfur bonds with hydrogen to form hydrogen disulfide, it shares electrons. Hydrogen only has 1 electron, so it takes 2 sulfurs and 2 hydrogens to form this compound. This is an example of covalent bonding.
Sulfur can't really make a metallic bond on its own. It needs to create a bond with another atom to make a metal like titanium disulfide. When atoms of titanium disulfide get together, they form a metallic bond by sharing their electrons in a loose cloud. The electrons have a negative charge, which makes the electrons positively charged. The electron cloud makes the metal malleable because they float around without breaking apart. This cloud also makes titanium disulfide a good conductor of electricity.
We revolutionized the world with sulfur because it is essential for all life, smelly, and it's explosive. Sulfur is used in medicines to treat infected wounds. It is a very important fertilizer. It is used to harden rubber like the tires on every car on the road. It can help preserve food, and most fun of all, it is used in fireworks and gunpowder.
Sulfur changed the world in China back during the Sung Dynasty in 970 AD, when a Chinese cook combined sulfur with saltpeter and charcoal, confined in a small enclosed container, and found out the hard way that it explodes. There is no doubt that guns, bullets, and bombs revolutionized warfare and changed the course of history.
Even though it can kill if used as gunpowder, sulfur is vital for our survival. It is part of a critical amino acid which we would die without. But some sulfuric substances cause great harm if you eat them, such as internal bleeding, heart failure, loss of eyesight, and other really bad things.
Like us, plants also need sulfur to make the same critical amino acid necessary for life. In fact, sulfur is one of the most important plant nutrients. We harvest our sulfur from volcanoes, the outside of the yolk of an egg, and in large underground deposits, like the one in the Gulf Coast of the United States, Poland, and Sicily.
Sulfur has changed the world because it is essential to sustaining life. Without it, we would not have humans, plants, or animals. Just as it gives life, sulfur is also extremely dangerous when made into gunpowder and other explosives. Thank you for your attention. This has been Liam
and Ian. We are SulfCo, and this has been Changing the World Through Sulfur.
Good night.